So about a week ago, Dying Light, or what I like to call it, Dropkick Simulator, had its 9-year anniversary. So you already know I had to do what I do best. Go play an old game and shrink it all down into one video. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab a snack, and enjoy the video. We are about to beat all of Dying Light 1 together. So the actual game starts off pretty slow. It's just a lot of dialogue, and basically you find out that you're jumping out of a plane into a place called Haran to retrieve a stolen file from a bad guy called Kadir Suleiman, aka Rice. And at this point I was just thinking, okay, this game's a little bit slow, you know, what's going on, let's get to action. Safe to say we got to action pretty quick.
Just draw them. Fall back! Fall back!
Yeah, so as you can see, I wasn't lying. You get dropped into Haran, instantly the ops pull up on you. You shoot one of the ops and more ops, aka zombies, pull up. And then these two nice people come and save your life. Jade and this other dude. I forgot what his name is, but my beautiful queen in shining armor, Jade, actually saves my life because as you're going to see right here, her boy ends up getting smoked. So after Jade's boy gets brutalized by the zombies, we end up passing out and waking up in this random apartment complex where we're greeted with this beautiful message on the TV. After that, I was told to go and speak to the boss, who tried to press me for my radio and got mad at me for using up the Antizin. Antizin is essentially the medicine that they use to cure people after they get bitten so you don't turn into a zombie. He then cried about how there's someone stuck on a 13th floor and told me that, oh, I need to be helpful. So obviously our next task was to go to the 13th floor and try to help the guy stuck there. To nobody's surprise, the 13th floor was absolutely infested with zombies, and this is where I actually had to kill my first zombie. Admittedly, I may have gone a little overboard with the kicks, but in my defense, I was scared as it was the first zombie I'd killed. I didn't know how long it took to kill him. We found the poor guy that was injured and found out that the zombie we killed was actually his brother. I felt really bad for him, so you know we had to get the correct meds and save his life. After that, we met up with Dr. Zero, which is basically Haran's final hope because he is hoping to make a cure that actually lasts, because Antizin, just like me, can't last very long. Therefore, it is not a sustainable cure because after a while, you're still inevitably going to get infected and probably die. There's one slight problem with Dr. Zero's plan. He claims he can figure out a cure with the help of a colleague named Dr. Camden. The only problem is that Dr. Camden is trapped somewhere called Sector Zero where the virus first started. He says that they communicate by radio, but if they're in person, they'd be able to come to a cure much faster, which obviously we're in dire need of right now as the city's being overrun by zombies. I was then informed that the drops by the GRE that were supplying Antizin, food, and supplies that were needed to the people of Haran were getting taken by Rice's men. I was told the only safe way to secure these packages was to go at night where it was absolutely a death mission. So that's when Spike's plan comes in to set up some traps so that at nighttime when I'm in a sticky situation I can activate traps to help myself get the Antizin and get out of there. After that, I had one of my first calls back with the GRE since being deployed on this mission. I told them about Dr. Zero and how he's trying to come up with a cure. They told me to try to gather as much information as I could from Dr. Zero, but they highly doubt that he'd come up with a cure all by himself. The main objective stayed to obtain a stolen file from Rice which potentially had information about how to cure the virus and plenty more information about how the virus could potentially be weaponized, which would be absolutely detrimental to the entire world. After setting up traps for the Antizin runs and the phone call with the GRE, I was sent on a mission to gather anti-seizure medicine for a man whose mother suffered with seizures. Sadly, his mother had passed away plenty years before, so he had lots of unused medicine lying around. Fortunately for the man though, he spent a lot of time with a doll who he thought was his mother. Honestly, that brother could probably use some sort of medicine himself, but I guess some things are better left untouched. At least he's happy during this tough time. I finally managed to get my hands on one of those supply drops that contain Antizin. Unfortunately, we got ordered by the GRE to destroy any Antizin we had found and to continue destroying any remaining Antizin supply drops in the area in order to force interaction with Rice. Despite our character's efforts to negotiate with the GRE explaining how this could save plenty of lives, the GRE convinced him to burn all the Antizin by telling him that they are focused on the greater good and that he must find a way to get connected with Rice. The ideology behind this plan was that a shortage in Antizin would make the people in the building that originally saved us be left with no choice but to send someone on a mission to negotiate with Rice for some Antizin, which we would then volunteer for, therefore giving us an easy connection. After burning the Antizin, I had to lie to Jade and tell her there's no Antizin left in the area. Shortly after that, karma seemed to have caught up to me as I had my first encounter with the volatile. Now I know that may have not seemed so dramatic to you guys because you guys are just watching through a video, but I promise you guys in real time when I have my headphones cranked all the way up, that almost gave me a heart attack. And up until this point, I had never really experienced the nighttime of Dying Light. Like the whole time I would just walk around during the day and I didn't really get what was scary about this game. And don't get me wrong, I know it's not really deemed as like a horror game of any sorts, but I mean, it's supposed to be scary, right? It's like a zombie game. You're supposed to feel a little bit thrilled, and I'm not gonna lie, nighttime parts when you're getting chased by volatiles are surely thrilling. Like, that is one of the best parts about the game, especially when you got your headphones cranked all the way up. The volatiles are chasing you, you're running through the city, you're climbing over cars, climbing over buildings. Like, this is where you really develop a love for the game and appreciate the parkour, and really get your first taste at the suspenseful and thrilling vibe that the game's trying to give you. This part in particular I felt was very crucial in getting you hooked into the game, because up until this point the game was honestly very boring. The story was slowly starting to build up, but it truly lacked any gameplay moment that hooked you in and let you know what you were in for. After this mission you really get a taste of what the nightlife is like, leaving you wanting to experience more. Every Gate game has this type of mission or cutscene that lets you know things are about to get real and that the intro portion of the game is over with. That's when you're locked into the game and really want to see how things play out.
Don't seem to have a choice.
Perceptive.
As you guys can see, I finally ended up meeting the man we have been looking for, and I'm sure you guys could tell from that souvenir he left on the table he wasn't very nice. The conversation was very brief and he gave me some tasks and told me once I was done he would provide me with the antizin needed to help our people back at the tower. First of all, I just want to apologize for that joke I made. I don't know what came out of me or what possessed me, but I'm leaving that in the video because you guys have to experience that cringe too. But as you guys can see right here, we continue on with our missions and we have to make a second pickup at the Fisherman's Village, which essentially is just a fetch quest mission where you just go, you pick up debts from people that owe Rice money and basically fight some zombies. So I'm not going to bore you guys with watching all of this. Basically sum it up, fight some zombies, you talk to a fisherman, you talk to a couple other people that are just working men, poor little people, you know, you harass them, you get the bad guys money, and that's pretty much it for these parts. Our final task was to go and collect the blueprint, and then we were going to get our antizin. But as you're going to see, there was a roadblock in the way. We were getting chased by a crackhead in England, and you know, I had to use a little bit of my roadman skills in it and chef up the opposition, as they say. Finally, after all those tedious missions, we collected the blueprint, which was the final task, and we're going to be on our way to go speak to Rice and collect our antizin.
Your whole life. Understand? I give you shelter, I give you bread, women, bullets, and you can... Simple task. I should send every one of you to the pit. Ah, the tower lackey returns. Do you have something for me, friend?
Yes, I do. Now it's time for you to give me what you promised. 2 crates of Andizin.
I think not. Your loyalty to the tower is nothing but blind obedience, Crane. A coward's submission to false hierarchies. You follow their rules as thoughtlessly as you follow mine, like a good little dog.
Look, we had a
I'm not
deal.
gonna lie, right there I'm crashing out. I don't
Your
care. Like,
people need the
we're being
antizin.
too nice. I'm crashing out. He
No,
just called me a good
more
little
than
dog.
ever,
Like, are you really holding that? I'm swinging. I don't care if he has a gun. I'm dying. I'm dying for that. I'm not gonna be called a good little dog. What do I look like?
Here, I will allow you this much.
You promised me 2 crates of it. This is only 5 vials.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this guy just shot his own mans. I don't know if I'm arguing over 2 crates of antizin. I'm taking the antizin for myself and I'm cutting. Unfortunately, it doesn't end up getting any better because Rice said the only way he'll give us more antizin is if we bring him Jade Aldemir, aka the baddie that saved us at the start of the game, so he can turn into Haran's Dana White and put her in kickboxing matches against men. Let's be real, we all know that's not gonna end up very good for her, so we're kinda screwed here. So right here is actually our second conflict with the Jiri. They ask us to give up the baddie, and obviously, like, Crane, the good freaking guy he is, you know, even he wants the baddie for himself. I don't blame him at all. Like, this is a zombie apocalypse. Like I said, that's all you got in this situation. So he's arguing. He's like, what kind of humanitarian society are you guys? You guys aren't helping shit. And then after, you know, they get mad. They're like, do whatever you want. You know, they blackmail him. Like, oh, you'll be there to support her. You know what I mean? They test his ego. You feel me? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how the conversation goes. And he ends the call abruptly. And this is what he says.
What the fuck kind of humanitarian outfit are you guys? And for that matter, if this project file can save the world, why keep it a fucking secret?
We're not paying you to be insubordinate, Crane. Get this.
After that, Crane was done with being a nice guy. He had to crash out. He had a full-on 12-round boxing match with a zombie. We slugged it out and knocked him out with our bare hands. You feel me? Do I blame the guy? No, not at all, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do. At certain times, you just gotta let the anger out of you. And Crane, you know, he did a little bit more than that. Bro crashed out. He killed a man with his bare hands.
That's only a few days worth.
As you can see, the baddie was already mad at us because we only got a little bit of anti-zen, and then she told us there was a problem at the 18th floor, so you already know we bolted over there to try to save the day. We rushed to the tower, but we're too late to help. She wasn't pleased with the supply of anti-zen we collected, and to make things worse, we had lost a lot of lives on the 18th floor. She left and told us to figure the situation out with Brecken, but before we could speak to Brecken, we were found in a little situation with our boy Raheem. Well, this is great. You know, we're working with a bunch of idiots. These guys just constantly keep losing lives and infecting people. I mean, this is a helpless cause. See, I wouldn't even have spoken to this guy if I didn't have to, but this guy just happens to be the baddie's little brother. I mean, why does that always happen in real life too? Why do the baddies got the most annoying ass little brothers that you gotta deal with? Regardless though, we came out here, homie was turned, he was stumbling all over the place, but he basically told me that he wants to plant explosives in a building where there's a bunch of zombies spawning, and if we clear that place out, we can basically have an easy way to gather a bunch of supplies and make runs for anti-zen in the nighttime. So I mean, honestly, it wasn't half bad of a plan from a drunk guy until...
Shit, oh my... don't drop me,
don't drop me, brother. Maybe don't drink so much next time. You know, like, what do you want me to tell this guy? This guy's drunk as hell on the edge of a building. Once again, if he wasn't the baddie's little brother, bro, I would have just let him go. I swear, bro. I swear. If I had the option, I would have let him go. So as you guys can see, the GRE's gone corrupt. I mean, another giant government organization going corrupt. Like, what's new? You know, video games are just like real life at this point. But, you know, there's nothing we can do, just like in real life. You just gotta let them be corrupt. Kyle Crane tries to argue for the people's freedom. Oh, come on, give us anti-zen drops. And they're like, oh, you want to play Mother Teresa now? You know, all they care about is the file. They want to let people die. They don't want to give people medicine. They don't care about anything. They just want what helps them. So right here, you can see a little bit of conflict is starting to build between Kyle Crane, the GRE. Kyle Crane loves his people. You know, these are low-key his mans now. He doesn't want to disappoint his mans, but at the same time, he works for the GRE. He obviously wants to go back to America and live his life because, I mean, let's be real, nobody wants to be stuck in Haran their whole life. So, as you can see, there's a little bit of conflict growing. Anyway, so let's get back on track. Me and Jade, we infiltrated the school, which is actually one of Rice's home bases where he's probably keeping a bunch of anti-zen. So that's why me and her decided to break into the school, fight a bunch of guards, risk our life to try to save other people. You know, classic good guy stuff. You know, Kyle Crane just being a good guy. Regardless, though, look how long it takes to kill these bosses. You know what I mean? This is absolutely excruciating. You know, the early game combat, just there's things I can't say on YouTube I wish I could say. You look, it's just graphic. I mean, I don't even think I could show half the stuff on YouTube. Like, if clips are cutting, you guys know why. I don't want to get freaking my video flagged. I worked ages on this video. You know, I haven't uploaded in like 50 days or something. I was losing my mind. This video has been so annoying to make, man. It's been really hard for me cutting down a whole entire whatever, you know, video game. And, you know, that's the point for another day, though. I'm not gonna complain about that. The reason I'm complaining is because look at this. I smashed this guy's head 18 times with a hammer while he was unconscious. He woke back up. I kicked him into a wall. I'm smashing his head again, and then he finally dies. I mean, like, they're worse than the zombies. It's so annoying, bro. And you have to fight like 80 people in this school with a shitty stick. Like, I'm fighting with a stick and a hammer, but the stick and a hammer is like made out of rubber because it doesn't kill people. I mean, look right here. Hacked the guy in the back of the head. Guess what? He didn't die. I couldn't show that clip because he literally withstood like 80 shots. I was just smashing his head into the ground. But I guess to give the game, you know, a good point, I guess they're really trying to, you know, capture that like brutal reality of what a situation would this would be like. Sorry, I'm leaving that in the video. I don't care. Because when I was playing this game, I really started to, you know, feel like, damn, like, if I was in a zombie apocalypse, this shit would be ass. Like, you know, you really start thinking, like, if you're trying to, not to get dark, but kill a human with a hammer, which is what's going on in this game, you really gonna have to bash them like a gajillion times to really finish them off. Pause, you know what I mean? And, like, it's just, it really puts it into perspective. So I guess if that's what the game's trying to do, GG's. But I mean, it's very annoying and very boring if I'm being honest. After fighting all those NPCs, we opened the crates and found out that there's no anti-zen upstairs. So Jade told me to look for the key to the basement and meet her down there. I got to the basement and instantly got bull rushed. I mean, I was getting blitzed left and right. I was looking like Sam Howell out there. I couldn't stay on my feet. You already know I had to switch it up and run out the pocket. I was looking like Patrick Mahomes running away from Max Crosby. Shout out to the Raiders. I finally found Jade in the basement, opened some more crates, but had no luck finding any anti-zen. But at least we weren't going home empty-handed, as we did find some.
Holy shit. That's plastic explosives, right?
Alright, listen, you take this stuff and get back to the tower. I'll deal with these assholes.
So as you can see, we sent Jade back to the tower with the explosives, and we were left to do some more mindless combat, just smashing buttons against NPCs. This is what I've been doing for the past 2 hours. Like, in this game, in this part, it's just literally like 2 hours worth of just fighting, because it takes so long to kill these guys. Each freaking fight takes like 20 minutes. Like, I'm not even joking. When there's like a group of 5 of these guys, it takes like 20 minutes to kill them. It's absolutely excruciatingly boring. I can't even stress that enough. As you guys can see in the cutscene before, Jade made us promise that we would not let her little brother, aka Rahim, aka this guy in front of your screen, not touch the explosives. So in this conversation, he basically tells us, oh wow, so great, we found the explosives. So we get the explosives. He tells me that he knows a guy called Saeed and Omar that were part of the bomb squad. I mean, that's just convenient. Saeed and Omar are part of the bomb squad. I mean, what are you guys trying to say here? Regardless, Saeed and Omar are putting timers on the bombs. Like, you know, those guys sound like they're qualified, right? So essentially, I just have to trust Saeed and Omar with my life, because I'm going to be the one planting the bomb inside of the hive, aka the place where the zombies spawn, and it makes this really hard for us to go get supplies at nighttime. So by clearing out that building, it ultimately just makes our life better in so many ways. So I'm going to have to go in there, plant charges, and get out of there before the bomb explodes. And right here at the end, I'm basically just telling Rahim, do we have a deal? Don't touch the explosives, because obviously if he touches explosives, we're going to sell our chance with the baddie, which we obviously don't want to do. After that, I finally managed to find a strap, which made my life 10 times easier. The only downside is when you shoot a gun, all the zombies just start running towards you, because they're obviously attracted by sound, as we saw in the first cutscene of the game. Right here though, I was on a mission to collect a tissue from a zombie called a bolter. The reason why I needed a bolter tissue was for the doctor that was attempting to create a cure. He said that this could help him find a cure, so obviously we're doing everything we can to try to help
The
him.
vial of, oh my word, this tissue, it's testing positive for the recombined virus. Camden, do you know what this means?
The meat experiment worked.
When I dose the meat samples with the altered strain, it's had an effect. This could explain all the different mutations. But I can't. Camden could. He has the equipment, but we have no way to get the research to him.
You can talk to him on the radio. Why not share the info that way?
There's too much data, Crane. It would take years. We'd both be dead and gone before he finished.
Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink.
What if I delivered this stuff to you, Dr. Camden? By hand. The data and the tissue samples both.
Crane, getting from there to here would be insanely dangerous.
Yeah, but it could mean a cure, right?
So as you guys can see, the doctor finally had some success looking for a cure, and it seems we're getting quite close. All I have to do is deliver Dr. Zeri's work to Dr. Camden, because he has the appropriate equipment needed to actually make a cure. After leaving Dr. Zeri's RV, we get an emergency call from Rahim telling me that he messed up and he's in big trouble in the overpass with Omar. We told him to find a place to hide and started running towards him to help as fast as we could. The call ended abruptly with Rahim screaming Omar's name. That was the last thing we heard from them until... Unfortunately, Omar was found deceased, but as you guys heard in the cutscene, apparently Rahim's hiding somewhere in an RV, so hopefully we can find him, or we're losing all our chances with the baddie right here. I'm not even gonna lie, I thought that was Yeet right there. He put up with the lean gut and everything. He was throwing up all over my face. I wasn't having that though. You already know that strap came in handy, because we put one bullet in him and it was over.
Rahim!
Crane, I didn't think I'd make it, so I armed the bombs. They'll blow in less than 5 minutes.
Oh shit, kid, you're bleeding.
Huh? Oh, I cut myself. It's nothing. Fuck, just plant the bombs.
Alright, don't move. You got it? I'll be right back.
So as you guys can see in the top right, there's a timer right there, and we had to go all the way through the water and like through tubes and a bunch of wild ass places to get to some building where we had to plant the explosives to kill the hive. Because if we didn't plant the explosives, they were gonna detonate regardless, and I'm not trying to die because I'm the only one carrying these bombs. You feel me? So right here you see me running through this building, planting the bombs right here, and this building was absolutely infested, as we already knew. That's half the reason why we wanted to plant the bombs here, so we could get rid of the hive. Right here though, one of the hardest parts of the game, I'm not gonna lie. Before you know the layout, you're kind of lost. Once you figure out the layout, it gets much better. But it was a fun little mission, you feel me? You got the blood pumping, got you a little bit nervous, you know what I mean? Hella zombies around, you're escaping, but you know, I gave him a drop kick for good luck, walked out the building, and with 1 minute to spare, we had the bombs planted and we were all locked and loaded, ready to see the hive go down. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm just as mad as you guys. My dumbass ran into the tube where the building was collapsing and I missed everything. I mean, I did all that work just to watch the building collapse, and I missed the best part about this whole mission, but it's okay, because I mean, it's a building falling at the end of the day, you know. I hope you guys can forgive me. I'm still mad at myself, bro. I missed the whole thing. More importantly though, Rahim wasn't responding, so you already know we had to rush back to try to find that little jet.
Rahim! Oh, you should have seen it. Oh, God. The whole damn building came down. Oh, shit! No, Rahim, stop! Rahim, it's me! It's me, kid, it's Crane! Oh, Jesus! Rahim, stop!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we're cooked, guys. Like, I mean, unfortunately for his sister, that was not Raheem anymore. But more unfortunately for us, we got no chance with the baddie. We're cooked. We just had to kill her brother. I mean, well, he's a zombie now, but I mean, she's not gonna believe us, is she? Like, we're cooked. We're cooked. It's over. And then, yeah, right here we come back. We speak to Brecken. Oh, yeah, Raheem's dead. We're cooked. And it gets even worse. I know, it's hard to believe, right? But it gets even worse. Check this out.
Maybe if I didn't leave him there, he'd still be alive. Oh, no. Jade.
Jade, wait.
Jade, God damn it.
Just give her time. She needs to grieve.
You see, I'm not even gonna lie, Brecken's so right here. He tried to tell us, oh, give her time to grieve. Nah. You know what she wanted us to do right there? She wanted us to run after her and comfort her. And I'm not one for simping, you know. Usually I let him go. But in this situation, her damn brother died. I mean, we probably should have went after her and comfort her. But we ain't have no time to grieve for ourselves because we were under attack. Then we get a call that Dr. Zero was under attack. We pull up to the lab, found out that he was kidnapped. So you know we had to try to get our get back. We got a strap. We got an even bigger strap. And we pulled up to try to get our get back for Big Doctor. Pulling up to the headquarters in the pit, you already know I had my strap out like John Wick. First headshot, bang. The enemies were alerted, but I was moving around the corner, bang, bang, 1, 2. You know, I was moving precise. Honestly, up to this point, this is probably the most fun part of the whole entire game. You know, I was locked in right here. Not the most fun part of the whole game, don't get me wrong, but up until this point. The only downside is that you have to aim with R3, which kind of just takes away from the engagement, you know what I mean? Like, when you have to press your stick in and then aim with the same stick, it just kind of like weird instead of pressing L2. But I mean, it kind of works for this game because, you know, the button layout, like if you play the game, you know that like L2 can't really be used for aiming in. But it is what it is. That's just a small little, you know, problem. But right here, super fun gunfight. I have my pistol out, then I switch out to the bigger strap, you know, the AR semi-fire, you know what I mean? Whatever it's called. And then, you know, I was tapping, my trigger finger was locked in. You know, I wasn't even trying to shoot too fast because I was just trying to be precise right here. But the OG COD days came in handy because we got right to the doctor, and I'm gonna let you guys watch how we found him.
Who is it? Who's there?
Relax, Doc. It's me.
Crane. Thank God. Listen, this is important. I'm not safe anymore, obviously. But my research must not die with me.
You're not gonna die, Doc, but right now we have to get out of here. So please, lower your voice.
Oh, yes. All right. But understand, my research, it must reach Dr. Camden. That's why I gave the packages to Jade.
Yeah, I know you guys just heard that. I'm not trying to interrupt the cutscene, but the one person in the world that probably hates us more than everybody has the packages we need to save the world.
Doc?
It takes no more than a false hope of rescue to loosen the good doctor's lips. Hunt the Scorpion down. Spare no resource.
With pleasure. And these two? What should we do with them?
You'll never find her. Never. And I'll never talk. You'll get nothing from me.
I am less concerned with making you talk, Doctor, than I am in preventing your escape.
Sadistic fuck, he's an old man.
Give the doctor some first aid. And take Crane to the pit. Lose control. That is what you Americans are so good at, after all. In fact,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, W crash out, but I mean, who punches someone with straps pointed to your head? Like, only video games do bullshit like this, but I mean, you know, W crash out, gotta respect it. But then this guy goes full on Rambo, shoots 2 of his boys. He stabbed the old man Dr. Zero before, right in his gut on some England shit. This guy's crazy, you know what I mean? This guy Rice, you know, you really get a feel for him. I'm not gonna lie though, he reminds me of like a Far Cry villain, you know what I mean? Doesn't he kind of give you Voss vibes from Far Cry 3? Nonetheless though, we spawn in the pit, and this is where things get crazy. So right after you get kidnapped, he puts you in a pit, which is basically just a testing zone. It's basically testing your skills. You have to survive waves of zombies, use your environment to your advantage, because as you can see, they gave us those garbage weapons we were stuck using at the start of the game, and there was a ton of zombies. Essentially what I would do is either kick them into those spike traps on the walls or group them up and then explode propane tanks placed around the pit to get through the first wave. Every time he basically makes the rounds more intense, so you get a little pause, you go, he throws you like a better weapon, like right here you see he'll throw you like this like blade now finally, and then you turn around and you see this crate in the sky. You know, you're probably just thinking more zombies, you know what I mean, more, you know, I don't know, dangerous enemies, you know, the Yeet zombie from before. Nah, it's a Bradley Martin zombie, so GG's, you know, you gotta deal with this Bradley Martin zombie, little boss fight, the Demolisher. But it was actually a really fun boss fight. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun to, you know, fight an enemy with a little health bar or whatever. Have to utilize some dodges. And basically what I did the whole time, I just hit him with a little side, you know, juke to the side, and then he paused for a second, hit him a couple times, and that's pretty much it. It wasn't really the most entertaining boss fight, but I mean, it was fun to switch it up from the regular zombies, because you kind of get bored from the regular zombies. But you can see right there, he cooks you. I'm pretty sure it's like a one-hit death, so if he hits you one time, you're dead. And if it's not once, it's certainly just twice, because he tanks you. Like, once you get hit, he tanks, like, I'm pretty sure like 3/4 of your health at least, and you're knocked down for a good bit. But oh my god, these kills are brutal. I don't even know if I could put those in the game. But with the katana, combat is so fun. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier on in the game, where combat is so boring with the pipes and bats and whatever. But with the katana, it is super fun. But what you're seeing right here, guys, is me being infected. So right here, this is basically what happens when you're infected, and the antizin only stops it temporarily, like I said. So the infection is starting to take a toll on me too, you know. I'm starting to see yellow, the world looks like I'm blazed, I'm looking like I'm faded, and that's basically the side effects of, you know, the infection. Right here is just a final phase. He tosses you a med kit, because, you know, there's no healing in this unless you have a med kit. That whole time you don't have a med kit, so it does make that little pit portion more fun. But I mean, you know, I'll let you guys watch this little cutscene play out. We finally got a little med kit, and he basically bagged that we were part of the GRE. Like, Rice knows now. He knows that, you know, we're not just a random guy pulling up to Harran. We're part of the GRE. We're part of this military group. So I'll let you guys see how this one plays out. You know, he's obviously not going to be very happy about that one, because we try to work alongside him.
Chaos, Crane. Chaos is the one true order of things. But to pretend otherwise is the sheerest folly. Allow me to demonstrate. Bassam, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Publish the file.
Right away, sir. And there. Easy, sir.
You just doomed thousands of innocent people! That's what you get with your fucking chaos!
You don't know what was on that file, do you, Crane? You only prove my point for me. The GRE plans to weaponize the virus, not cure it. They're only interested in profit, not saving lives. And by following their rules, you have become their trained monkey. Pathetic. All right. Kill him.
Doc, come on, let's get you out of here.
Crane, save these people. They don't deserve all of this.
You, give me that torch.
Man, this is more some video game bullshit right here. Bro's burning the place that just got cut off. What is this man doing, by the way? Like, dead ass. Like, he's like, shoot me. Like, what is he doing? He's just screaming, Crane! And they still haven't shot. Like, what? Are they lagging? These guys are lagging in real life. They got input delay or some shit. But anyways, enough of that. And sorry to take away from the sadness. You know, the doctor just died and shit. But I mean, bro, this is crazy. Did you see how Rice was moving? I mean, sorry, Crane. I kicked one guy, chefed one guy in the neck, chefed one guy in the leg. I chopped the other dude's hand off. I picked up the pistol, pop, jumped up, talked to the... I don't even know how he did all that, but once again, bro, Kyle Crane, that guy's him for real. After escaping, we ended up passing out due to the infection, but luckily we were rescued by Brecken. We woke up to him telling us about how all of Rice's men were looking for us. Things didn't end up getting any better though, as Jade had attempted to bring the research needed to Dr. Camden to try to get a cure. She ended up failing though, because Rice's men found Dr. Camden's lab and tried to kill him. In order to save himself, he barricaded the place with zombies and locked himself in a room. We're left with no choice but to go try to help Jade and Dr. Camden find a cure. The only next step for us was to head to Sector 0 and fix all these problems. In order to get to Sector 0, we needed the help of a group called the Saviors. They're a group of guys who smuggle people across the border. At first they were very sus and didn't trust us, but we gained a whole lot of respect after they found out we were the ones that chopped off Rice's hand. After they found out who we were, they told me there was no time to waste and agreed to take me to Sector 0 ASAP. They told me to meet up with this very friendly looking guy. He showed me the path and told me I was on my own for the rest of the journey. The path through the forest was infested with zombies. For the most part, I just ignored them and continued on my way. That plan didn't work forever though, as I found myself in a narrow tunnel with my back against the wall. After making it through the crowd of zombies, I found myself stuck in a tiny room infested with zombies again. I was left with no choice but to air that room out. Let's just say shots were fired. Peep this precise shooting right here though. You know I ain't miss. Headshot, 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 headshot. Last guy. Nah, I ain't wasting a bullet on you. She wants to get up, bandage up real quick. I'm not wasting no more bullets on you. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. I said don't grab me. That's right. And you too. No survivors. After all that chaos, I thought it was finally over and we were going to make our way to Sector 0. Unfortunately, those guys that showed us the way also ambushed us. It's fine though, because I've been saving this big gun for emergencies like this since the start of the game. The AR was finally about to be put to use. And I'm not gonna lie, this mission was super fun for me. It felt like an old Call of Duty mission. It took me all the way back. It had the perfect atmosphere, you know, dark room, you crawl up out the water, there's gunshots going all over the place, the guns are going crazy, you're emptying the whole clip, dumping the clip, there's like 30 enemies running at you. It felt like Black Ops 1. Woods was about to pull up and help me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sector 0. As you can see, we finally made it to Sector 0, and the first thing we try to do is contact Jade to try to find her. She did not respond. We had no communication with Jade. So the second thing we knew to do was to contact someone named Troy that we knew was a trustworthy source out here that could help us. We got in contact with Troy. They told us where they were, and you already know we started heading out to Troy ASAP. We finally got to meet Troy and put a face to the voice. Right away, she knew that we were looking for Jade. We asked if she could get in communication with her, and she did it within seconds. We grabbed the radio out of her hands, trying to convince Jade to let us help her bring the supplies to Dr. Camden, because where he is staying is infested with zombies and surrounded by Rice's thugs. As expected, that didn't work, but she was being stubborn, so we had no choice but to expose the original mission and to expose the fact that we were a part of the GRE, and also to explain the fact that the GRE planned to firebomb the whole city. We told her how we talked them into waiting, and the only reason they listen is because they want the research that is now in possession of Jade. We have to find a way to tell the GRE that we have the research before they blow up all of Haran and kill everybody. Once again, she gave a useless response, cussed us out, and ended the phone abruptly. Troy understood that the situation was very serious and that this is not just about me and Jade. This is about all of Haran. She told us that the last location she was at a university. She gave us the directions and told us we have to find her. We got to the university and asked the man there if he had seen Jade. Once again, Jade was on her BS and left us with another cryptic message. She gave the man a picture of her dead brother to give to us and told him to tell us not again, as if that's going to help the situation. Once again, I mean, she's being annoying, and I understand that she is very sad and very, distraught in this moment. She's grieving the loss of her brother. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I mean, let's be real here. The world is about to end for everybody in Haran. Every kid, every child, every mom, every dad, everybody is about to die in Haran if Jade doesn't comply. So if Jade wants to be selfish and takes the whole world down with her, that's on her. It's just a tough little situation, because if Jade doesn't want to comply, we can't do anything about it. The world goes down, and obviously she's not in the right mental state right now, so you can't directly blame her, but it's just a frustrating situation all around for everybody. We got our hands on some of the news from outside of Haran and found the documents had leaked exposing the GRE's plans to weaponize the virus and sell it to the highest bidder. Now, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but this kind of sounds a lot like real life. Government organizations using other countries' struggles to try to gain money and power, trying to hide it behind them saying they're truly helping when the only people they're trying to help and benefit is themselves. And if you thought that was bad, it gets even worse. I'll let you guys watch this part.
I was the last survivor left in the quarantine. I can't believe I made it out. I can't believe I'm still alive.
We mourn all those who didn't survive, but as the President said in a speech here earlier today, life is for the living. Military troops have searched for survivors all over the quarantine, but now there's no one left besides the infected.
So if you don't understand what's going on here, the media is basically trying to trick people outside of Haran into thinking that there is no one left in Haran and that all survivors have been taken out. That is not true, obviously, because as we can see, there's many of people thriving and living in Haran, doing their best trying to survive. Well, actually, I take that back. I wouldn't say thriving, but we're doing our thing out here. The sad part is that they're basically now trying to give themselves an excuse to try to be able to bomb Haran with no repercussions, because if people believe that there's no one here, they're not going to have any problems with them killing a bunch of zombies. So we had to devise a plan to let the outside world know that we are still alive in Haran and that they cannot bomb it with all these innocent people living here. There's no way to communicate with the outside world because all radio and communication to the outside world are down or jammed, giving us no access to them. What we came up with is to plant explosives in a building and explode it in such a way that would have to be done by humans so that the media would have no ability to lie to people and tell them it was done by zombies, as zombies would not have the intelligence to do something like this. There's no more time to waste. There's currently one man on the job named Michael, but he needed my help, so I rushed there as fast as I could. We found Michael, but he told us he couldn't get past the zombies and finish the job, so he handed us the explosives and we were on our way to finish the job solo. I entered the building and dropkicked the life out the first zombie I saw for good luck. As expected, I encountered a lot more zombies but just pulled out the gun and kept firing. I was just walking through the hallways mindlessly shooting everything I saw. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty much all that happens in these parts, and I don't really want to bore you guys, so this clip should pretty much sum up what it was like. You know, I was just camping in a corner just getting hordes of zombies. It was like I was playing the Giant or Derice all over again. But after all the hard work, it was paying off because we finally planted the second explosive and we're almost done the job. For the most part, everything was going smoothly until I came across this absolute demon spawn of a child. I mean, this guy almost blew out my damn eardrums. And if that wasn't annoying enough, his annoying ass screech sent half the population of the zombies of the building onto me. I was stuck in a corner again fighting for my life. By this point, you guys know how it goes, you know, just like that Giant or the Derice catwalk, just sit in a corner, pull out the gun, and just fire away, you know what I mean? There's nothing more you can do. Fun parts of the game, I'm not gonna lie, but pretty simple, not really much to commentate about over here. After that, I had to find a way to make that zombie child shut up. I'm not gonna lie, as much as I wanted to shoot it, it just felt unethical doing that to a child, even if it was a zombie, so I just hushed it and put it to sleep. It looks like it's dead, but I promise you I ain't killed that thing. I finally planted the last explosive and there was only one thing to do, evacuate the building and blow it up. We blew up the building and it seemed as everything was going really good as Jade finally came around and talked to us. She finally believed that we were back on her side after she saw the effort we were willing to put in to help the people of Haran. We may have gotten a little too ahead of ourselves as the GRE were already one step ahead and they already knew how to counteract this plan. To make it look like a regular explosion, they flew over a plane and launched a missile right into the pattern we had created, taking away our chances of being noticed. We had no options left, so Jade requested that we speak with the GRE to try to save Haran. We told her that was impossible as we had lost all communications to the GRE because all radio systems were jammed. She told us she knew a guy that could potentially fix this problem, but they needed our help, so we finally were on our way to go see Jade again after so long and we're one step closer to saving Haran as we could now protect her and the information that she is holding that could lead to a cure. We got to the meetup spot and found a cryptic message on the wall and knew right away that Jade had been kidnapped by Rise. We knew that this could potentially be a trap, but Jade had saved our lives at the start of the mission, so we owe her one. We had no choice left but to go to the museum and try to save her.
We meet again. The last time we met, you took something of mine. Now, I took something of yours.
I don't negotiate with assholes, Rise. I get out of here with Jade, or I take your other hand too. Your choice.
You cannot simply demand to have her, Crane. You must make a showing of effort first.
Attack! Move it, boys, move it! Go, go, go!
As expected, it was obviously a trap set up by Rise. Because we had cut off his hand, he had taken Jade from us, you know, kind of an eye for an eye situation. But, you know, we weren't going to let that one slide. We pulled up, we're fighting all of his troops, and this basically goes on for a pretty long time. There's like 4 or 5 rounds of this where you just have to keep killing guys non-stop. This was actually really fun because for a long time the game was really story based, which is obviously really good. That's what hooked me into the game, but you obviously want times in the game where you can just spray and kill, and it's been a while since we had that Call of Duty Black Ops 1 type mission in the sewers, so basically repeated that, fight a bunch of troops with your guns firing all over the place, and then we got to this place which was absolutely infested with zombies. Bro basically just put a giant road filled with zombies to try to stop me from getting to Jade, but you know, we had to just jump right in the pit, just start scaling zombies like it was nothing. Look at this, boom, boom, we're running off zombies. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who this guy is, but we gotta league him. Bro got like a 70-inch vertical. He just jumping over humans effortlessly, time after time, just scaling people. It's just crazy. But I couldn't really figure it out at first. As you can see, I was stuck. I didn't really know what to do, but I eventually obviously figured it out. We got to the top and got ambushed by more guards, and honestly I don't know how I didn't die here, bro. These guys need control freaks or something because they could not aim, and I mean honestly neither can I, but somehow I survived this gunfight. But this part gets interesting, so I'm gonna let you guys watch this.
Jade? Oh shit, what have they done to you?
Fine, Crane. Tahir knocked me over the head before he dumped me in here. Just Give me a minute.
We're cooked. Argo got CTE. First Tony Ferguson, now her.
You do not have the luxury of a minute, Scorpion. In fact, what little time you have, you owe to me. Thanks to your repair of my antennas, Crane, I've listened to every word any of you have said. How do you suppose I found you, Miss Aldemir? Or the good Dr. Camden? How do you think I broke the connection between the sectors? I am the director of this film. And now that I have Zere's research, the GRE will do as I command, which renders the two of you useless. Tahir!
So as you guys saw in that cutscene, Rice was basically one step ahead every single part of this whole entire game. Like everything that we were doing, he already anticipated it, and we were basically helping him instead of ourselves, which is kind of demoralizing, I'm not gonna lie. And speak of demoralizing, he got our girl. We're kind of looking like less of a man right here, you know what I mean? Look at our girl right here. We're just letting her get jumped, and shit, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, there's so many zombies, I can't shoot her. I'm just firing away. But she's holding her own, I'm not gonna lie. She's doing good, even though she got CTE. Might be one of her last fights on her contract, not gonna lie, because she's taking a lot of damage. That's because she could barely speak. Oh my god, I just shot her in the head. I just realized that. I just shot her in the head. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's not good. That can't be good. Oh my god. Oh my god, she's gone brain dead. What am I doing? Oh my god. What am I doing? I swear I don't even remember doing that. This is all like, this was recorded months ago. What's wrong with me? So if you thought the situation was already stressful, it gets so much worse. We found out that Jade has gotten bit and is now infected. We also only have one Antizin shot and both of us are infected. And as we know, there is no cure for Antizin. It is just going to help us stay alive for longer. To make things even worse, the information for the cure is in Rice's hand, which means we most likely won't be able to get a cure and one of us is going to have to inevitably die. We also offered to give her the Antizin shot, but she keeps refusing and insists that we don't give it to her and we take it.
Jade, here. You take this. No, come on. Listen, I've still got some in my system. You need this worse than I do.
Crane, I just want you to promise me one thing. When the time comes, you're the one who takes me out.
What? No,
Promise me.
Jade, I can't.
So as you can see, Jade wants us to be the one to kill her after she gets infected, which is obviously a very sad situation because we also had to kill her very own brother after he got infected. The infection started to affect us again and we started having some sort of Joe Rogan ayahuasca trip, and we could hear Jade on the radio even though she ran away from us and has no access to a radio, which is obviously very trippy and confusing. We searched for Jade for a very long time until we finally found her here, and then it all started to set in. This was all a trip. I thought I was dead at this point. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, am I in the afterlife? Because like, this shit ain't definitely real life, and as far as I know, Joe Rogan ain't give me no ayahuasca, so we should not be tripping right now. To sum it all up, Jade was basically just forgiving us and reviewing everything that happened in the game at this point. You know, just she was on her ayahuasca vibes essentially, just being like, you know, the energies and, you know, accepting everything that has happened and forgiveness and, you know, the typical bullshit that happens when people be tripping on ayahuasca. That's essentially what this is recreating in some sort of sense. Like, they're either on shrooms or ayahuasca or some bullshit like that, because like, I don't know what else the point of this would be. It's basically just to show us that Jade forgives us and everything happens for us a reason, and, you know, like, oh, it was just grieving and all that. Honestly, this portion went on for a little too long. Like, it was fun for a little bit, but this was genuinely like 10 minutes of just Jade just yapping nonsense. But eventually we wake up and we find out that we weren't tripping. We were obviously just infected, and we see Jade at the end of the hallway. She runs up to us. She's infected, and then she gives us the cure, bro. I thought she was gonna bite us, but she gave us a cure, and we found out that we were actually tripping, and she wasn't actually, you know, trying to kill us right there. It's honestly pretty sad. Like, we were just tripping the whole time because we were infected, and we thought that Jade was gonna be the one that we were gonna save, but no, she flipped the script and actually saved us, even though we got her brother killed, kind of. And, you know, we put her through a lot of hardship. She saved her life at the start of the game, and then now she sacrificed her life for us again, which, you know, you gotta respect that. Like, it's just so much respect for her, you know what I mean? I know she's a video game character, but, you know, shout out to Jade, you know what I mean? She a real one for that. And then they try to jump us, and then she went Superwoman mode, you know, spinning back kick right here, overhand right. She did a judo throw on this guy, stomped on the head, a little illegal, but, you know, Mario Yamazaki ain't gonna stop the fight after that one. And then she's ground and pounding a grown-ass man right here, knocks him out, and we're like, okay, goddamn, Jade, you really like that? I didn't know you was like that. You know, we think everything's fine. I'm like, all right, fight's over, and then, damn! She goes in on the neck. She ripping it up like it's some steak. You know, this was some top class entertainment. It was all fun and games until she turned around and started looking at me. I mean, this is really crazy. We spawned in a map, we killed like their cousin, I'm pretty sure. We then killed her brother, and then we ended up having to kill their sister. We single-handedly just ended a whole damn family's lineage. Right after that, Rais told his right-hand man to here to try and come kill us. So this was basically the second big boss fight of the game. One time we had to fight the big guy in the pit, and now we have to fight another big guy that's just a massive human being. I mean, put this guy in the NBA. The Lakers need a center. I'm not gonna lie, he was kind of shitting on me at the start, but obviously you get a hang of it. Like, I don't really know what to do. As you can see, I tried to drop kick him 2 times. That didn't really work. And then I kind of figured out you just hit him with the machete, hit him and evade, hit him and evade. You know what I mean? Just step back, step in, step back, step in. You know, you just Sean O'Malley it, keep him at a distance. But that pretty much is the whole boss fight. There's not really much to it. As you can see, it's working out really well here. I'm getting hit, but I mean, you know, we're killing the guy, and that's basically how it goes for the whole boss fight. After a bunch of slashing and dodging, we finally got the best of him and gave him the final blow, and the man was dead. And then we popped up in this cutscene.
Jade lost her life for this thing. It's just lying on the floor. I guess Rais must have dropped it when he was trying not to get shot, huh? Shit, this is just the tissue samples. Where's the other package?
Go to hell, Crane.
Wow, Tahir. You know, you're looking pretty fucked up, huh? Yeah, those don't look like the kinds of wounds you recover from.
So, then kill me.
No, I shouldn't. I should just leave you here to suffer. That's what you deserve.
Yes? Then why don't you?
Because you're not the kind of loose end you leave untied.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know Kyle Crane was cold like that. I mean, I thought he was gonna spare him. He already had to kill enough people, but nah, the guy said, why don't you kill me? He says, say less. Bow, he killed him, got it back in blood for Jade. After taking out Tahir, the job is far from over. Rais had escaped and still had the materials needed for the cure. He got in contact with the GRE and let them know that he is in possession of the materials needed for a cure and all the information that they need. Which means there is no use for Kyle Crane being here or anyone alive in Haran, because we no longer benefit the GRE. So they sent out planes to bomb Haran. In order to stop this from happening, we had to re-establish radio connection to the outside world in order to send a message to the world and let them know that we are still alive in Haran and they cannot bomb this place as there are still plenty of survivors. Time was ticking as the GRE wanted to bomb Haran and Rais was willing to work alongside them. We were Haran's last hope. We had to get the tissue sample to Dr. Camden in order to have an attempt at creating a cure that could save the world and stop the virus from spreading. That would be the only way to prove to the world that there is hope and Haran should not be taken out. We got to Dr. Camden's lab, and as we knew, it was infested with zombies as he had barricaded himself in there in order to stop Rais's men from getting to him. We cleared the place out and finally got the samples to the doctor. He said he had high hopes and there was a high chance that he could finally create a cure.
Hey, Troy, give the samples to Dr. Camden. Now I'm gonna go have a little talk with the GRE.
And what are you going to tell them?
Everything. I'll meet you later, Troy. This is Crane, do you copy?
Kyle Crane, you can hear me, can you not?
Rais, where are you?
As you can see, Rais had found a way to get in contact with us through the radio system. He told us he was at his tower and dared us to try to come and kill him. We told him we had bigger things to worry about right now, like helping Dr. Camden create a cure and saving Haran, but we promised him we would get to that when we found the time. Things were starting to seem good until Rais told Crane that he had a deal with the GRE and they were going to pick him up in a helicopter very soon and take him away, and he was going to provide them with all the information they need. As I'm sure you guys have figured out by now, Rais being taken out of Haran with the information the GRE needs means that there is nothing else we could do to bargain with the GRE to stop them from bombing Haran. So we are forced to go to the tower and confront Rais and put a stop to this ASAP. On our way to confront Rais, we started to get chased by tons of zombies and it felt like I was playing Temple Run all over again. This part was actually really fun and Loki took me back to my childhood. We finally got to Rais's tower and were having a very soothing elevator ride before finding out that wasn't going to take us all the way to the top. Unfortunately, that switched up the plans and the vibe changed very quick as we went from a soothing elevator ride to leaping out of a building onto a crane. Unfortunately for the zombie right here, Kyle Crane actually had to kick this zombie off of a crane for good luck. Fortunately for us, the good luck charm had seemed to work as we were finally about to be face to face with Rais again for the first time since we chopped his hand off in the pit. It was time to put an end to all this madness.
So, face to face again. I guess that means I don't need this anymore.
With or without it, Suleiman, you're dead.
Come now, Crane. Do not pretend you don't care. How many lives depend on this disc? Hundreds? Thousands? Perhaps billions.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, the good guy doesn't always win, and this is how this game ends. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trash at the game, bro. I was too locked in on the cutscene. I messed up.
You are right about one thing, Crane. Suleiman, he's dead. He died with his brother in this city. You don't even belong here, Crane. You don't know what suffering is.
Bro's acting like a drunk girl at a party. He's trauma dumping while attacking me at the same time. I don't know how to handle this situation. Luckily for Crane, this ain't a girl, so you already know we about to fight back.
I will teach you, Crane. You will suffer alongside me.
Not gonna lie, the game had me there for a moment. I thought it was about to be an eye for an eye, full circle moment. I thought because we cut off his hand, he was about to chop us up too, but now we flipped the script and got him too. We about to be smoking our rice and all his boys. We really single-handedly took them all out.
Yes, go on. You cannot resist. Do it, I won't fight you. Just as you killed Tahir. Do it!
Fuck you, asshole. You want me to make my own rules? Rule number 1. You're gonna spend the rest of your goddamn life in fucking agony.
Do not leave me like this, Crane. Prove you are a man.
God.
Take your vengeance.
Will you just shut the fuck up?
On the edge of life and death. While the GRE wait to take me to a hospital. I give you the honor of deciding your own fate. Hand me the disc, so that there is at least a chance that Haran might live. And I will make your death painless. Or resist. And leave the city alone with you. You have until the count of 5. 1, 2.
All right. Here! Let's ask for a decision!
Smoking on that rice pack. I'm not gonna lie, that felt so good. I hate that guy. So we finally did it. The job was all over. We took out Rice, we secured the documents the GRE needed before they could get their hands on it, and we got the samples to Dr. Camden to make a cure. What a beautiful ending to this story. Thanks to Kyle Crane, Haran is saved. We lost a lot of beautiful souls along the way. Rest in peace Jade, rest in peace her annoying ass little brother, and rest in peace to all the people who lost their lives trying to save Haran. A lot of people were sacrificed along the way, but at least they can rest easy now knowing that Kyle Crane fulfilled their dreams and finally saved Haran. Don't go anywhere yet though, because the GRE had one last attempt at trying to finesse Kyle Crane. You already know he wasn't falling for that BS though. This is what he had to say.
Get the rest of the research and come with us.
And I can think of a lot of reasons to tell you to go fuck yourself, but why don't we just pretend for a minute that you don't think I'm stupid? You need the cure. It's here, in the city, somewhere. And as long as it is, you won't try to pull any ministry-style bullshit.
Crane, why do you even give a fuck what happens to these people? You don't belong here. This is just a job for you.
No, not anymore, it's not. I'll be in touch when I've decided what to do next.
A man of the people. What a beautiful soul. What had just started as a job to Kyle Crane turned into him saving all the people of Haran and becoming a beacon of hope for everybody who stayed there. As you can see, he did not fall for the trap and go back to America with the GRE. He decided to stay in Haran with the people to ensure their safety.
The analysis just finished on the tissue samples. The results are, well, I don't think the word phenomenal is too strong. Crane, if you can recover Zara's data, I'm certain a cure is...
Man, this story gets so beautiful, I could literally cry, bro. It just keeps getting better and better. Finally, after all the hardship, we get the call from Dr. Camden telling us that if we can get Dr. Zara's research, we have a cure. Ladies and gentlemen, on that good note, this concludes the story. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still here, I love you so much. Thank you for all the support. I know I haven't uploaded in a really long time, but I was working really hard on this video and got really busy along the way. That's why it was so delayed. There's gonna be a lot more content coming out real soon, a bunch of different games on the way. Once again, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care, everybody.